Now, in today's My Money segment, we want to focus on buying a home. Now, it's usually the biggest financial purchase that most people will make, so it only makes sense to invest enough time to really understand your options and do it right. And you may not realize there are agents out there who work just for you, the buyer. Now, here to explain is Kim Kale, Executive Director of the National Association for Exclusive Buyer Agents, and the president of that organization, Benjamin Clark. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Now, this is a fascinating subject to me, and home buying is a big issue for just about every American out there. But first, tell me what an exclusive buyer agent is. I hear you've got a pretty good example.
I usually explain it to people this way. If someone were suing you, you would not pick up the phone and call the attorney of the person who is suing you, because you understand that that attorney is representing that person and you want someone to represent you. Meanwhile, people do it all the time. They pick up the phone and call the name on the sign in front of the house, and that real estate agent is representing the seller. And instead, you should really have someone on your side.
Someone with your best interest at heart.
Right.
Now, you actually, Benjamin, you are an exclusive buyer agent.
Yes.
Tell me exactly what it is that you do and what it is that you run into.
Absolutely. Throughout the whole process, it's not just finding the home, which is something that we do, and it's not just negotiating the price. It's making sure that the terms are the best terms for the buyer, making sure that we help them evaluate the lending terms, the other additional costs that are involved in the transaction, making sure that they're not being taken advantage of all throughout that process. It's up to that agent, as an exclusive buyer's agent, to do what's best for that client. Maybe during inspection something is found, a big defect with the house. Our job is to get them out of that contract while protecting their deposit.
Okay, so you really are looking out for the person who's shelling out all of the cash.
Yes.
But how do you know? Kim, I'll ask you this. How do you know if you're getting a buyer's agent or a seller's agent? How do you know the difference?
An exclusive buyer agent works for a company that takes no listings.
Okay.
So no one in the entire organization takes listings. And the reason that you want to ask if the company takes listings and not just your agent is because quite often things can happen within an office. I mean, I work in an office. Things come in on the fax machine. You can overhear phone conversations. And if you're the buyer, imagine what would happen if the seller's agent happened to overhear that you're willing to pay a certain price on a house.
You've just lost all of your negotiation footing.
Exactly.
What we like to do as an exclusive buyer's agent is sit down and counsel with that buyer, consult with them, make sure that we don't give any information that could hurt that buyer in the negotiations to the other party. At the same time, because we do represent that client, we do our own information gathering, try to find out what the situation of the seller is. How low will they go? Is there anything that can benefit our client? We give that information to them.
How do you do that? Do you go through the agent that would be on the sign, or do you go through the buyer themselves? How does that work?
Absolutely. What we do is when we're setting, even just to the point of setting an appointment, we talk to that agent. A lot of agents are more free with information before they have you before negotiations start.
Right.
And so we'll ask that agent, kind of what's going on with this property, especially bank-owned and short-sale properties. Today's market, you need to know kind of where they are in the process. How long is this going to take? Are there any advantages are there other terms other than the price that can give your client a competitive advantage in negotiations so that they can get that property?
And something else, I know that most exclusive buyer agents will do a comparative market analysis. So they'll actually have a good idea of what that house is worth and what the person should be offering. For example, I know one of our members recently just saved a client about $25,000 off the price of their home. It was actually listed at $194,000, but when she did the comparable market analysis, it came out that the house was probably only worth maybe in the 160, 170 range. And it was a bank-owned property, and the bank actually dropped their price to $174,000 almost immediately, and then they negotiated from there.
So you've really got your own team, your own even cheerleader helping you do all of the hard work, doing the things that you might not be able to find out on your own.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And along those lines, when you're working with the listing agent, the person whose name's on that sign, their job is to show you comparables that justify that higher price. Whereas when you work with an exclusive buyer's agent, we sit down and we look at the market and we will show you all the homes, not just the ones that justify paying that higher price.
So at the end of the day, how do you end up getting paid for what you do for your services?
What happens in most of those transactions is that listing brokerage offers some of that 6 or whatever % to a buyer's agent. And that's how a lot of exclusive buyer's agents are paid. What we like to do is we contract and negotiate our fee with our clients, and then whatever's being credited toward, or whatever's being offered from a listing agent or a listing brokerage, we credit toward what our client owes us. So in most cases, it doesn't cost the client a lot of additional money. Also, because we contract directly with our clients, we can help them buy for sale by owners, we can help them buy short sales or other properties where there may be little or no compensation for a buyer's agent.
I didn't even know that you guys were out there. This is such great information to know about. I wish I had waited to buy my house. 3 years too late I meet you guys. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate all the information. Now, if you want more information on exclusive buyer agents, just go to naeba.org.